Yes, indeed. Luxembourg is really proactive in terms of BEPS implementation. They try to accelerate the transposition of the EU directive. G20 wanted transparency. Luxembourg is more than transparent. Actually, it's important to talk about BEPS again today because it's a hot topic. A lot of changes are coming, a lot of new complexities. It's important to inform our members.
This is a new regulation which will be implemented based on an EU directive. That means in the EU all the member states have by 2018 to implement such an interest deduction limitation rule. That has a significant influence on financing of companies because this rule could lead to additional taxation based on just pure financing activity. This rule foresees that under certain circumstances, a part of the interest expenses you have in a local entity might not be tax deductible due to that new regulation. And that non-deduction could lead to additional costs. And therefore, it is very important that companies prepare for that for the future and to have that rule in mind and plan with that for future financing activities.
Makes sense. Let's be practical. Multinationals need harmonized tax rules and guidance at global level. They have activities located all over the place, and it is really not appropriate to have different TP approaches depending on the countries concerned. The TP harmonization should help with more transparency and less discussions with the different tax authorities concerned. This should lead to less uncertainty for structuring the group operations, which is key.
Because of BEPS rules and regulations, the environment for corporates is becoming more and more complex. And I see two main consequences. The first one is that it is very important that corporates prepare a good transfer pricing policy and review it periodically. And the second consequence is that Treasury Department and Tax Departments work strictly together.
I would recommend them to prepare a detailed transfer pricing documentation. And I think we need to see transfer pricing documentation as being really a good connectivity between the treasurers and the tax department, so that it's not just I would say a pure compliance exercise, but it is really putting on paper how the operations are actually structured. So I would recommend them to do really a thorough exercise involving all the relevant people in the organization which are impacted by the treasury activity, so from the tax but also from the operational people, also potentially with the CFO. So this is what I would recommend them.